would please rise for the presentation of our nation's colors. Thank you. Please be seated. Our program today will begin with Dean Richard Brown, who will be followed by Brigadier General Richard Gibbs. Then we will have University of Utah Vice President for Research Erin Rothwell, followed by Mechanical Engineering Professor Jake Abbott, who is one of our faculty members who is currently doing research with the Air Force. We will then have the official signing. Dean Brown.
Thank you, Josh. On behalf of the University of Utah and the College of Engineering, I welcome you all to this historic occasion, the formalization of nearly 100 years of collaboration between Hill Air Force Base and the college. A special welcome to Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs, Martell Teasley, Interim Vice President for Research, Erin Rothwell, and our distinguished U.S. Air Force guests and Hill Air Force Base representatives, including Brigadier General Richard Gibbs, Mr. Thomas Lockhart, Colonel Jeffrey Holland, Colonel Michael Warner, Chief Master Sergeant Raymond Riley, Mr. Jeffrey Wandry, Mr. Enos Cummings, and Mr. Craig Reese. I also welcome state and federal legislative representatives and our students, faculty, and members of the media who are joining us today. As a boy growing up in Hoytsville, Utah, I was fascinated with jet engines and tried to build one for my bicycle. Years later, I realized that it was not a jet engine at all. What I had built was a liquid fuel rocket engine. Fortunately for me and my younger brother Paul, who was the pilot on the bike, we did not succeed in igniting the thing. Otherwise, I would not be here to welcome our distinguished Air Force dignitaries to the University of Utah. While I am still no expert in rocket engine design, I am pleased to report that our growth in the College of Engineering over the past 2 decades has been explosive. The signing of the Educational Partnership Agreement will accelerate our progress even more. Our shared past and current mission makes this agreement entirely appropriate and celebrates our long-standing relationship with the base. We are both focused on securing the state, nation, and the world. We don't have to look any further than today's headlines to understand the importance of our nation's strategic defense. The fighting in Eastern Europe is a stark reminder that we must always stand at the ready. To do so, the U.S. must have the most advanced technology. I'm proud to live in a state that has played such a key role in air defense for the past 88 years. From its early days in 1934, Hill Air Force Base has evolved into a major Utah employer, technology generator, and economic driver, with nearly 22,000 personnel and an annual economic impact of $7 billion. Likewise, the College of Engineering has served Utah industry as its flagship engineering program since its founding in 1895. Our 127-year history has produced technology leaders in innovation who have been at the leading edge of world events. One such graduate, Simon Ramo, completed his BS in electrical engineering in 1933 and went on to become the father of the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile System as the co-founder of TRW Corporation. Today, the U.S. missile defense system is propelling Utah's economy through a $13 billion contract with Northrop Grumman that will provide design, development, verification, deployment, and sustainment support of our nation's missile defense system. Recognizing the need to accelerate the production of engineering and computer science graduates for these and other endeavors, Hill Air Force Base representatives have been at the forefront of our efforts to secure funding for the long-running engineering initiative. By stating your need for highly qualified technical graduates, the base has been instrumental in adding nearly $29 million in ongoing funds, plus $11 million in one-time funds to Utah's engineering and computer science programs. As a result, the number of graduates from our college has more than tripled. The University of Utah graduates about half of all of the engineering and computer science graduates from the USHE system. That's the good news. The bad news is that Hill Air Force Base could hire all of our computer science, computer engineering, and electrical engineering graduates next year and still not fill their current open positions. This new educational partnership will provide even more opportunities for hands-on experience and will create top-of-mind awareness for our students of the career possibilities at the base. It will also facilitate educational opportunities for base personnel through online and customized learning experiences. Equally important are the opportunities for collaborative research between the Air Force and the university's outstanding faculty. Currently, the College of Engineering has nearly $4 million in Air Force-sponsored research projects underway. This partnership will help expand our joint research across the spectrum of engineering disciplines. The formalization of the Educational Partnership Agreement is an opportunity to rededicate ourselves to our shared mission of service to our nation. It's also an opportunity to thank Hill Air Force Base for the impeccable service of your many board members and advisors. Your insights and perspectives have guided our strategic planning and informed our decisions. We look forward to an exciting new era of cooperation and collaboration. Thank you.
Dean Brown, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. On behalf of the Air Force Sustainment Center, which is our parent organization, the Ogden Air Logistics Complex, and the entire team at Hill Air Force Base, I want to thank you all for allowing us to be a part of this ceremony this morning. I would especially like to thank the representatives from Senator Lee's office, Senator Romney's office, Congressman Moore's, Congressman Stewart's, state legislator, everyone here from Team Hill, and there are a number of folks, and of course, our partners here at the University of Utah. Fantastic having you here, and really appreciate being a part of this. You know, for us, the educational partnership, it's an agreement. It's an incredible opportunity for the Ogden complex to further our relationship with our community and within the University of Utah through mentoring, through internships, through collaboration on our defense laboratory projects, and of course, other areas of shared interest. We're all interested in solving tough problems, and of those we have plenty. There's probably no better way for us to do that, though, than to bring together our diverse organizations, the folks from those, and to think through, to explore, to experiment, and to learn together. The Air Force definitely places a high value on education. It's ingrained in our doctrine, it's ingrained in our culture, and it's foundational to our career development. In fact, the Air Force Sustainment Center, in its role as a defense laboratory, has a responsibility to encourage and enhance the study of science, engineering, and math at all levels of education. The Air Force Sustainment Center and the Ogden Complex are committed to educational relationships such as this one. The Ogden Complex and the work that we do there, we currently maintain a variety of legacy and advanced weapon systems. Everything from the older F-16s and A-10s that you might think of, to the ICBM, the Minuteman missiles, to the newer F-35s and the Sentinel, the GBSD program. We also maintain a number of parts for the rest of the weapon systems across the Air Force. Our future success depends on finding ways to transform our operations to better and more efficiently sustain those systems and those newer systems. We're working to modernize our infrastructure, our equipment, our software, our processes to get after those challenges. Digital transformation is a key methodology for us. For this modernization, we're working to incorporate technology at every level to digitally augment our aircraft, our software, and our missile maintenance activities. The knowledge and expertise that the University of Utah offers will be a tremendous value in our pursuit of excellence. The university's College of Engineering is noted for its developments in digital technology, digital transformation, data analytics, additive manufacturing, robotics, nuclear engineering, and the list goes on. It's truly incredible. This agreement lays the foundation for us to identify and collaborate on a variety of systems, STEM projects that are mutually beneficial. We're proud of our relationship with the University of Utah. We thank the folks that have been involved from day one in the development of this agreement, and we look forward to expanding our partnership in the future. In closing, this agreement's a huge win for both the Air Force and the university system here. I'm excited about the educational partnership and what it means for the future of the Ogden Complex. My sincere thanks to those who helped make this day possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. That was great. Before I begin, I just want to thank the base officials on behalf of President Taylor Randall for coming here and for the University of Utah for honoring us with this educational partnership agreement. First, I want to say that the University of Utah is an institution for the state of Utah, and we fully embrace our mission to support Hill Air Force Base as one of the university's most strategic and important partners. Given the advanced sophistication of today's fighter jets, and I do need to disclose that my dad was a fighter pilot in Vietnam, and Top Gun is not real, that movie. And he just left this morning to go back to San Diego where he's retired. But he still was telling me before he was leaving that, and we need to continue to produce technology, research, and highly trained graduates to support our nation's air strategic defense. And this agreement helps achieve that. I also want to mention the importance of research at the University of Utah and our dominant position as one of the state's leaders. We reached $686 million in research last year, and we're on target to even be higher this following year. I can't tell you what happened the next year after that, but it is an exciting time here. Our reputation for technology commercialization that moves research out of the lab and into real-life applications is something we're going to reinvest and refresh in the upcoming years and continue to be a leader in that domain. Finally, I want to congratulate the College of Engineering faculty, who are one of the biggest research components of our institution after the School of Medicine, bringing in almost $60 million. It is impressive. And my understanding is that's just going to continue to grow under our Associate Dean of Research, Kevin Whitty, and Dean Brown. The Educational Partnership Agreement will strengthen current projects and open new doors for these faculty collaborations with Hill Air Force Base partners. And our role as Utah's flagship university and Hill Air Force Base key role as a Utah economic engine make for a strong partnership and a shared mission for the state and for the nation. So thank you all for joining us.
Hello, my name is Jake Abbott. I'm a professor in mechanical engineering and in the robotics center. I was asked to talk today because I actually already do research with the Air Force. In fact, I already have an educational partnership agreement with the Air Force Research Lab. And I'll tell you how that came about. So a few years ago, Major Devin Dalton, who's right there, reached out to me and he said he's been chosen to participate in the Air Force's PhD pipeline program. And he was looking for dissertation topics that were of interest to him and the Air Force more generally. And I said, I have a great idea. And the idea, we'd recently discovered in our group that we could use magnetic fields to manipulate non-magnetic metal objects. And we'd come to realize that there's this big problem with space debris. Our orbit is getting clogged with debris, and most of this stuff is made of aluminum. And aluminum is not magnetic. If you try and use a magnet to pull on it, you can't. But we'd figured out a way that we could affect non-magnetic metal objects with magnets. And so I said, this would be a perfect project for you, and he was really interested in it. But I said, but there's no way, I have no funding for this, and there's no way I will be able to get funding for the fall semester you're interested in starting. And then we sort of dug into it a little bit, and we discovered this educational partnership agreement mechanism. And it turned out that we had very much shared interests with some folks at Air Force Research Lab, and that led to us setting up our own EPA. And then that led to us quickly setting up a contract that supported Devin's entire 3-year PhD program that he's almost finished with. And we've been very productive with that work. We actually published a paper recently where we created what effectively looks like a tractor beam, a real tractor beam. It's not as flashy as on Star Trek, but we can, with 2 magnetic sources, reach out and grab an object and pull it into us that was never intended to be pulled into us, made of all non-magnetic metal. And then that work formed the foundation for 2 Space Force STTRs that we have currently with Rogue Space Systems in New Hampshire. And I've never had an experience like this. from an idea being sort of a kernel of an idea with a good student that needs support to actually doing the research rapidly and getting the results out and having it potentially be in space in something like 3 years, wrote this thing. And this is all because of this EPA mechanism. So if my story is any indication, I think we probably will see a lot of cool things come out in the near future. Thanks for letting me talk.
Thank you, Professor Abbott, Dr. Rothwell, General Gibbs, and Dean Brown. We would now like to invite Brigadier General Richard Gibbs and Vice President Erin Rothwell to come to the table to sign the University of Utah and Department of the Air Force Educational Partnership Agreement.